Hello everyone, I am Catalina. Welcome to today's episode in Fuerza En Cada Corazón. Today we have our guest Amanda Marie sharing her experience growing up and around Latina culture and how it has shaped her life. Hi Amanda, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. Let's jump into our first question of the day. How has language and learning Spanish impacted your connection to self-identity and culture?
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood and really heavily in Mexican Latina culture. My best friend, she is Latina, and in her household, I've lived with them for many years, and in her household, they speak Spanish, and I've picked up a lot of Spanish over the years, and I can speak it not super fluently, not super well, but I definitely can understand, and I would say, like, growing up, there was a lot of that being a part of my culture and a part of my life despite being white. And as I've gotten older, it's really shifted into a lot of different ways because people don't expect me to speak Spanish, or they don't expect that kind of environment from me. And you know, it's been told to me several times, like, oh, you're stealing our culture, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, it's a really big part of my culture too. And so throughout the last recent years too, like differentiating what people expect from me and what people think of me versus like who I actually am, and like finding that groundingness within myself. So yeah, it's been really fun. I mean, I love it. I have a lot of love for all culture, and I get to see myself in it in different ways.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now, can you provide an example or memory of speaking Spanish that really resonates with you?
Oh yeah, I mean, I mentioned like in my bestie's household, like that's all like her mom really speaks at us, and it's funny because she's no sabo, but like, and she used to speak, like, be able to listen and understand when she was younger, but now she like doesn't. I don't know if she like turns off her listening ears to it or what, but it's so funny because me and Nancy, me and mom will like be talking and stuff, and we'll like make little jokes about her, and we'll like, you know, be saying stuff or whatever, and she's just like, oh, you guys are talking about me, and we're like, oh, yo no sé, like we just like make jokes, and I just love it. And like last year we had Thanksgiving all together as a family, and we were playing like loteria and everything. We were just making jokes, and it's a time where like it really just connects to what holidays and what celebration looks like for me in that part of my family, and it's a really beautiful thing. So yeah, thank you.
Now, what is the time you experience prejudices regarding culture and language?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I grew up from Santa Rosa, and being all around that area, I was really the only white kid in my town, in my street, and we're super low income. My mom, she had my older brother at 14, so we just kind of like rolled with the punches, and we were a very big family, which was so normal for everyone on our street. And like, I did face a lot of prejudice around it, especially when I was like speaking Spanish with my friends or doing anything like that. You know, it's always was really different. But I'd say something as an adult that really shifted is I had a boyfriend, and we were all like, you know, together in his house with the family and everything, and they were speaking Spanish, and I started like including myself in the conversation because I was in the room, like they were all like talking about it, we were all in the room together, and I started, you know, speaking back in English because I was listening, and like for them, they were really upset that I was eavesdropping on their conversation, even though I was in the room, and it was very apparent that, you know, like I'm still involved, I'm actively listening and everything. And for them, it was they were really upset. And there's that expectation like, oh, I'm white, so I must not understand. And so I think that that's a really big issue that like I've experienced with prejudice, where people are just like super quick, like, oh, okay, she doesn't understand, like, you know, let's say this, that, the third, and then them getting upset about it when I did understand and include myself in the conversation. Like, I feel like that's a, you know, something interesting about that.
I do understand you on that part because they think that you look white and you only speak English or
yeah, like it's an A-B conversation. I need to see my way out. Like it's just an expectation that I don't even understand, and then they were offended that I did understand. And that was like an interesting concept.
Yeah, and something that I can relate to that is, some people go based on stereotype. Being a Latina and a brown woman, they only think I know Spanish or like my native language. They don't realize that I also know English just because I'm brown.
Yeah, and the seeing that, like, you know, back and forth with that. Language is such a different thing, and it's hard when, like, you speak multiple languages. It's like, where am I? And where is the world perceiving me, and where am I truly myself?
Yeah.
What box do I fit in? Oh, wait, I don't, because I'm me. I don't need to fit into a box.
Yeah, like, even when I go to Mexico, I'm not sure if I fully belong over there. It's like a part of me.
You're an American. I mean, you grew up here. This is your life.
Yeah, and then I come over here, and then I have my native language and my culture running in our family. So I also don't. It comes to my mind that I also don't know where am I exactly. So.
And I think it's perfectly beautiful for you to be a mix of a bunch of different pieces, because it's these pieces that come together to make you so perfectly you, you know?
It's like being 3 different people or 3 different
ideas or languages or, you know,
at one place.
And I think it's really hard for people like myself and many others, like, really struggle to say, like, okay, what hat am I wearing today? But no, like, every day you wear yourself, you know? And so, like, I think for a long time too, when I've moved around a lot, different places I've gone to, like, okay, this is the culture they want to see me as. I'm going to do my best to be that culture. And it's like, no, I'm proud of every single piece of me. There's not, you know, just because I look a certain way or I dress a certain way doesn't mean that I am a certain way. And that's a really big, you know, thing with prejudice and being put in a box where it's like, damn, let me kick down that box. Like, let me break this wall because I just want to be myself, you know?
All of those makes you who you are.
Oh, absolutely. And there's a beautiful part to have pride in that. And it takes a lot to overcome to get to that spot.
How have these experiences shaped your interaction with the outside world or with people in your circle?
Yeah, definitely for the outside world, like, for the longest time, like I said, like, being in a box compared to, like, who I am now. I don't really care anymore because, I mean, it took a lot of years to be at this point, but I really don't care anymore how people want to perceive me in that way. Like, I'm just going to be unapologetically myself and have all pieces of my culture be what it is. And if people want to say, like, oh, she's stealing our culture, or, oh, she's like this, that, and the third, or da-da-da-da, like, okay, you can feel like that. That's not going to stop me from what I've experienced, what I've lived, the part of my family that is like that, the part of my life that's been like that forever. Like, you know, and it's not going to ever change who I am because I have so much pride and appreciation for who I am. And then compared to, like, my inner circle, my inner people, I feel like they're, you know, a lot of my friends, family, everyone in my life, like, a lot of people are, like, of different backgrounds, whether that's Black or, like, Latinas or XYZ, you know, we're all just a big mix of everything, and we really appreciate that. And I think that that's something so beautiful about my inner circle that I'm very blessed to have. Like, there's no hate involved. Like, it's just you be you to your best ability.
You mentioned people have thought of you stealing their culture or something like that. It is not about that. It is actually learning in something new about this culture and adapting into it because it's a culture that's very important.
I think it's crazy to be like, oh, this white girl's stealing our culture, like, as if I didn't, like, grow up in a household speaking Spanish, like, or as if I didn't grow up, like, you know, doing the same things, living the same lifestyle, being in the same, you know, da-da-da. But I think it's because I'm like, this skin color, like, people are saying, like, oh, no, she had money her whole life. Oh, no, she had things handed to her. Oh, no, like, a lot of people think, like, too, like, oh, you're an only child, or you'll do it. No, I'm one of 7. Like, I have a big, crazy, loud, like, you know, loving, you know, obnoxious family, and there's no, like, shame in that. Or they're like, oh, she's white trash. Like, I've gotten that a lot when they find out, like, you know, bits and pieces of who I am, and it's like, it's so hard to, like, fight against that negativity and find your pride, but I'm so grateful that I have found it now.
Yeah.
And, like, if I could go back to little me and tell her, like, you know, just love your life every single second of it, like, and let yourself enjoy who you are, like, I would definitely tell her that.
Nice. Well, it was wonderful having you today. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kat, and, yeah, have a great week.
Thank you.